So once you get a job remotely, you're going to need, because most of them are going to be customer service type calls, virtual assistant types calls, and type jobs. You're going to need a phone to call customers or potential customers, to get phone calls from the person you're a virtual assistant for. So you're going to need a phone that's reliable. You're going to need a reliable internet connection. Now, one of the people who works for us lives on Standing Rock out in the country, and she got, well, we got for her a device that boosts her internet. So it's sort of like a cell phone hotspot, but many times faster and more reliable. But you're going to have a reliable internet connection, and you're almost certainly going to have a computer. Now, some companies will provide this for you. Other companies expect that you have your own. So at a minimum, you're going to have those three things. Now, depending on the job, a lot of call center jobs require you to have a headset. So that's why I put on my headset today. So you can hear better, and also because less noise from around you is picked up, like your barking dog. Some of them will require you to have 2 monitors for your computer. Some of them will require you to have a wired, not a wireless internet connection. And I'll show you in a minute. You all can laugh at me, but I put it up on the Spirit Lake Voc Rehab YouTube last night. I made a wired internet connection in my house. It took me about 30 seconds with junk I had laying around. All of that stuff, the 2 monitors, you could probably pick up for between $50 and $150 each. A wired connection, all you need is some cable, and if you don't have an Ethernet port in the back, an adapter, and those 2 things you can get for under $30. And then a headset. Some of them have specific types of headsets they want you to have. So if your whole job is calling people on the phone and talking on the phone, they might insist that you have a fairly decent headset. So those are things that if they require you to have that or buy it, it's not a scam. It's not unreasonable. A lot of companies will expect you to have a setup like that. The 2 monitors varies. The headset one is very common, and the wired internet one's very common. For us, we don't require any of that stuff, but we do require that you have a phone and a computer and a reliable internet connection. And even for some interns and entry-level people, we might send them a computer, but it's going to be a really cheapo testing computer that we had laying around. So generally, they don't expect you to have a computer, for sure a phone, for sure an internet connection. Many of them also are going to say you need to have someplace with no noise. If they're doing customer service types or calls, no dogs barking, no crying children, no doorbells ringing. And a lot of the ads specifically say that. And they specifically say that, because they've had problems with it. Now, it doesn't have to be your own. You don't have to have a separate room. You could do it in your bedroom if you put a filter in the back, right? But you'd have to shut the door and it'd have to be quiet.